A few weeks into the holiday, the weight of silence became too heavy for Rachel to bear. Living with her Aunt Vivian had once seemed like a blessing, but that blessing had turned into a curse. Yinka, her aunt's husband, had grown bolder in his evil ways. He locked the kitchen whenever Vivian was out, starving Rachel, tormenting her, waiting for her to break. And yet, Rachel stayed silent. Even Becky, her only friend who knew the full truth, had stopped asking. Subscribe, like, and comment to stay connected. The holidays had come, and with it, unbearable pressure for Rachel. Each day followed a cruel routine. By now, Yinka, her aunt's husband, had locked the kitchen against her. He made sure she starved when her aunt was away. Rachel was confined to her room until 7 p.m., when she'd be allowed to cook dinner. Whatever scraps she could sneak while cooking were all she had for the day. Her aunt? Too obsessed with her business to notice the war being fought right under her nose. And Yinka's threat never ceased.
Until you succumb to me, you'll starve. Go on, tell your aunt, and you're finished.
Desperate, Rachel devised a plan. She told Yinka and Vivian that she needed to attend a school program and use the opportunity to visit Becky in GRA of paycheck. There, she finally met Becky's father, Mr. Daniel, a quiet, kind man who offered her the first warmth she'd felt in weeks. "Good afternoon, sir," Rachel greeted.
How are you?
Becky's father asked. "Fine, sir. Please, is Becky at home?" she asked.
Who are you?
"I am Rachel." Becky heard Rachel's voice in the parlor and walked in that moment. "Daddy, this is my very good friend, Rachel Ola, whom I have been telling you about. Rachel, meet my dad, the best daddy in the world." "I'm happy to meet you, sir," Rachel said.
Make yourself comfortable. I will leave you both now. Offer your friend something to eat, Becky.
"You're lucky," Rachel said to Becky as she ate jollof rice and chicken with joy. "I wish I lived here." "Then leave that hell you call home," Becky replied, half jokingly. But behind the laughter, Rachel broke down. She told Becky everything about the threats, the starvation, and the growing fear of being sent back to the village. As the pressure mounted, Rachel recalled a bold idea Becky had once suggested. And now, she was ready. Yinka was stunned when Rachel finally pretended to agree to his advances.
So you've come around?
He smirked.
Don't worry, your aunt won't know. I'll even pay your school fees.
Rachel forced a seductive smile. But in her heart, she carried a different mission: justice. Feigning illness, Rachel delayed their meeting. Yinka, already excited, gave her money for medicine and sang mockingly,
I'm to be your uncle. Ooh!
The next day, she told Aunt Vivian she needed to speak in private. With trembling lips, she confessed everything. At first, Vivian was furious. Denial wrapped around her like armor. But Rachel begged her to believe and to help expose the truth. "You must prove it," Vivian said solemnly. The plan was in motion. Becky and Rachel arrived at the hotel. Becky waited inside the bar, keeping watch. Rachel checked in under Yinka's name. Aunt Vivian waited at a nearby eatery, ready to confront the truth. But for 2 long hours, Yinka never came. Rachel tried calling him, but the network was poor. Rachel's nerves began to shatter. Had the plan failed? Then, unexpectedly, Aunt Vivian stormed into the hotel bar. She was furious. What followed was chaos: an encounter with a mysterious woman, loud accusations, and Aunt Vivian being mistaken for a prostitute. Humiliated and enraged, she dragged Rachel out of the hotel. Back on the street, Vivian was in disbelief. "You lied to me," she screamed. "I swear, Auntie, I didn't," Rachel cried, but her words were drowned in pain. Victoria slapped her hard, dragging her away. Becky stood frozen, heartbroken at the wreckage their plan had become. Vivian called Yinka on speaker. He claimed to be at his factory in Agege, lying as smoothly as always. And then, fate intervened. Yinka finally arrived at the hotel, too late. The girl and her friend were kicked out by a married woman, the receptionist told him. Yinka froze.
That must have been my wife.
As panic set in, he paid for the room anyway, thinking he had escaped the trap. But then, she appeared. Vivian stood in the doorway, watching, listening. You? She whispered. Disbelief etched on her face.
I can explain.
Yinka stammered, but she had heard enough. She slapped him, hard. Don't you ever touch me again, you bastard! She spat, her eyes burning with rage. With that, she walked away, her spirit broken but her truth vindicated. When Aunt Vivian stormed out of that hotel, her rage was unmatched. Her pride was shattered. Her trust burned. But the storm wasn't over. That evening, the tension returned home. Yinka entered the house like nothing had happened. A master of pretense. He feigned confusion at the sight of his crying wife and bruised niece.
What's going on here?
He asked calmly. Go ahead, Rachel, Vivian said. Tell him everything you told me. Rachel tried, but no words came. The fear was stronger than her voice. Yinka's performance was flawless.
This girl is possessed.
He shouted.
You think I'd leave my work to chase a minor?
Then, like a snake striking twice, he slapped Rachel. She fell to the floor, dazed. He wasn't done. He brought out his belt and landed it on her body. Vivian stepped in. Enough, Yinka. Do you want to kill her? But even she, confused and hurt, made a final decision. I'll take her back to the village tomorrow. I need peace in this house. It was a heartbreaking return. When the car pulled into the compound, Rachel's brother, Sam, was stunned by her appearance. Her swollen face said more than words ever could. Vivian pushed her forward. Take your daughter, she told Rachel's mother. I need peace. No explanation, no compassion, just pain. Rachel's mother sat frozen. Later, when Rachel explained everything, her mother trembled, not from fear, but from rage. God will fight for you, my daughter. Days later, the sorrow turned into sickness. Rachel was weak, hopeless. Her dreams were fading, but her mother's words lit a spark. As long as there is life, there is hope. That night, Rachel prayed. And when morning came, so did a new idea. On Saturday morning, she visited a business center and called Becky and explained everything. Meanwhile, Becky had changed. Her cheerful spirit was dimmed by guilt. She had told her father the entire story.
I admire her courage. She doesn't deserve this end.
Mr. Daniel said. Becky pleaded with him. Let her come here and stay with us. We'll prepare for our exams together. Mr. Daniel agreed, but on one condition. He would only accept Rachel if her mother came to Lagos and signed a legal undertaking. That was exactly what they did. Rachel praised God for this unexpected miracle. She studied like her life depended on it. And maybe it did. She aced all her subjects and earned a university scholarship to study banking and finance. Becky also succeeded, gaining admission to study medicine. They both enrolled at the University of Ibadan and shared an apartment. Though they clashed occasionally, their friendship stood firm. Years passed. After NYSC, Becky's father, now a highly successful man, built a private hospital for her to manage. He also secured a top-tier job for Rachel at a prestigious bank. Rachel flourished. She built homes, bought cars, sponsored her brother Sam's education. Her village crowned her with a chieftaincy title, a symbol of honor. During the celebration, something unexpected happened. Aunt Vivian appeared. She came forward, not with arrogance, but on her knees, begging Rachel and her mother for forgiveness. She had finally realized her mistake. The pain of her betrayal weighed heavily on her. Rachel's mother embraced her. You were still an instrument of God's plan, she said. Vivian handed over a letter from Yinka, his own apology. He claimed he had changed and vowed to treat his wife better. Life is not always fair, but justice comes in time. Rachel didn't fight with fists. She fought with truth, patience, and God. And in the end, she won. Not just success, but peace. Because even when evil tries to destroy you, your destiny, if guided by grace, cannot be stolen. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Beautystorysnest. More thrilling African-rooted English moral stories are coming your way.